Yes, there's certainly a trend in the market of a growing number of variations of technologies where fiber is coming to a lot of different endpoints. And actually you have two dimensions in this. First you have the type of end customer, which can be a residential customer, a business, or a mobile user. And the second dimension is actually where the fiber terminates. It could be to a cabinet, to a curb, to a front door, or all the way into a home. And it's actually a growing trend that these types of variations are more and more combined into networks. And 5G, for example, is also a crucial component in that because that also brings the fiber closer to end customers because there's cell densification in 5G, while at the same time you might still need a fiber to an end customer. So this is more complex decision making in the whole access network dilemma. I think personally the trend is there and it's just a matter of time and you also already see it. One part, for example, like I said, 5G is an enabler, but there's still a little bit of unclarity what 5G really will mean. And in fact, I think that now starts to become more clear, and as it becomes more clear, I think we will see this in the coming years more and more, that this barrier will be eliminated. And also you see it in some of our customers, like we are working with City Fiber. They are really adopting this well-planned city design, which does look at all these convergence opportunities, and also in more traditional operators, like we are working with Proximus or Total Telecom. They are also getting those different businesses closer and closer together. So the time will come, and it's not so far from us, I think. Yes, convergence between fiber to the home and that more dense 5G network is certainly a huge opportunity. We actually did a study for the Fiber to the Home Council where we announced the results a couple of weeks ago, which show really that a saving of up to 75 to 85% even of the fiber for a 5G network could be absorbed by doing it in a converged way. And that will really change also the whole business case potentially for 5G. So the potential is huge. Indeed, in rural there's often this stretch and a number of constraints. On the other hand, again, convergence is an opportunity also in rural areas, so that will be an enabler. But also, I think the business case in rural, you see more and more investors, external investors, being interested in the rural areas. We know it's more expensive, but we also see more and more examples where the number of customers that really adopt the service is very much higher and there's more certainty. So actually, I think it's more expensive, but the business case for rural is actually something that is interesting. And there where it's not enough, of course, governments are playing an important role to support these kind of deployments as well. In the rural areas, 5G, I think, will have its applications, but I think one of the aspects in 5G that is very important is the real frequencies. There's a lot of options on the frequencies in 5G that you deploy, where in dense areas you can really go to high frequencies and high bandwidths. I think the 5G in rural will be more about connected driving autonomous vehicles, maybe even in agricultural applications. But which will not necessarily require the high bandwidths and the high cell densification, because that will not be very feasible in those areas. So it's, I think, a completely different type of 5G networks and applications, but there will certainly be some of those in rural areas as well. We are particularly interested and happy to participate for many years already in this Gigabit Access conference, because first of all, it's in line with the trend that, and our core focus of Gigabit Access being a core need in the telecom and an important trend, and something that can be delivered with multiple technologies that we all support, so that's a good match on what we're doing. And at the same time, the audience for us is very interesting, given that it's a good representation of operators from a large geographical area that is interesting for us in terms of potential customers.